A lot of places don't even have banks. They run on cash.
And maybe the way to become a millionaire from one of those countries is get out of the country.
Hi everyone. Okay, so this is definitely a different video than what I usually film, but today I'm gonna be reacting to a Jubilee video, which is do teen millionaires think the same? But the catch is I am in this video reacting to myself. I've always wanted to be in a Jubilee video, so the fact that this is now real and we're gonna be reacting to it is insane to me. First of all, this thumbnail, bro, be so for real. If you think I'm acting crazy, it's because I'm not used to having to react to myself. And the thing is, I don't know what I said and I don't know how they edited me, but grab your popcorn because this is gonna be a long one, okay? I'm really nervous.
Anyone can make themselves a millionaire.
The trade to $1 million is insane.
But it's still possible for them to do it, no?
It's possible, but to say anyone?
How are people going to, in a third world country, make money to be a millionaire?
Then maybe the way to become a millionaire from one of those countries is get out of the country.
Yo, this is already gonna be such a good episode. By the way, Aaron, the guy that just talked, I was the one that introduced him to be on this episode. Like, I'm friends with this guy.
You can't just get out of the country. I'm somebody.
Oh gosh.
I would only date a millionaire.
I hate looking at myself.
Hell no. Fuck up. The person I want to date, I want to be able to show them, you know, all those experiences firsthand. Like, I've been with girls who have money and it's like the worst thing ever. Like, for example, like the one thing for me, and it's a test I do, is like, for example, if a girl knows how to get into my car, like my Lamborghini, like you have to like specifically know how to open the door. I specifically let them figure it out. If they figure it out, that's the last date.
I do gotta say that comment was actually so funny. And like the way that they filmed this, I also do wanna say, you guys know my ex-boyfriend, the guy that was like, oh, like luxury cars and stuff like that. It wasn't him specifically, but I know him through my ex-boyfriend.
I feel like money doesn't define a person at all. Like if I'm gonna date you, it's for your personality, not your looks.
Why does this say millionaire at 6 years old? Why does this say millionaire at 6 years old? Who is a millionaire at 6 years old?
Money has absolutely nothing to do with a relationship.
I agree with you guys, but as a woman, I don't want to be the one paying the bills and taking care of their house. And so for me, like, you don't have to be the richest person in the world, but if I'm gonna be a millionaire or multi-millionaire or whatever it is, I at least want to be the person that encourages you to do the same. You can be the sweetest man ever, but if we go out and I'm paying for everything and I'm doing everything, it's too much.
I think girls want to be taken care of. I think that's a beautiful thing. I've always just been the one to take care of girls and pay for everything. I think as a guy, you should be doing that.
Slay J!
You brought up something saying, oh, if the girl doesn't know how to open up my car door, I wouldn't even date her. I feel like, you know, I feel like it's ever so selfish because you feel like, oh, I want to get happiness by making this girl, you know, spending money on her. But at the same time, I feel like the only binding factor in your relationship is money at that point, right? Because if you stop providing money to her, then she gets used to that lifestyle. Then she's like, okay, I'm gonna find someone else.
The reason I say that is because I wasn't looking at it like a sense of like that, but more like getting used for it. Like, girls will want to go on dates with you because you can take them to that dinner. You know, they want all of that. So I feel like that's very common that they will use you for that. And it's like it's a thing I'm scared of, you know, like it's happened to me many times. So it's like, I said it like that and it sounded kind of crazy. And everyone was like, oh, what the hell? But like, you know what I mean, you know? Like, it's common. Girls will only come to you because you have the Lambo.
I am itching to see what I say because I don't remember what I said.
So that's what I was kind of going at. I like a girl who just doesn't care about money at all, you know?
Something that I do whenever I meet people.
Wow, I seem so out of pocket just saying something that I do. Oh my God.
I don't tell them my name. I don't tell them my Instagram. I don't want them to be able to search me up, know how much money I make, know where I live, and know the lifestyle that I live, because that's how I avoid people using me for money.
Yeah, I have 2 different Instagrams, so like.
Me too. Me too. Facts. And you know what? The no name thing is kind of crazy. I do that for dating apps where I don't say my name on dating apps because people then search it up and find me. But in person, I'll say my name. But the Instagram thing stays true. I do not give anyone my Instagram. I'm a number gal. And usually it's the opposite where people give their Instagrams out but not their number. But for me, I don't want anyone to have preconceived ideas of who I am before they actually get to know me. Because then it's like they know everything about my life and I know nothing about them. And it becomes an imbalance. So facts, girl, facts.
My name is Kelly OG, and I am the biggest secret that you've probably never heard, which is okay because it's a secret. My net worth is about $20 million.
What do you think makes you a great entrepreneur?
My relentlessness to never give up. I've never believed that I couldn't do anything.
I'm like, oh damn, like these are individual interviews and I know mine was not that. They were like, oh, like what's your net worth? And I was like, I don't know. And then they were like, I guess we'll see. But then they're like, oh, what makes you a good entrepreneur? And I was like, I don't know.
It is easier to make money if you're white.
My mentor is not white, and he's worth $204 million. So I think I've seen it firsthand.
I would say you're almost an exception with what the majority is. I think majority-wise, if you look at just the demographic of the United States, you know, whenever you think of trust fund babies, whenever you think of houses in the Hamptons, whenever you think of that luxury lifestyle, it's not usually the Black demographic or people of color in general.
I mean, maybe in past generations, what you're saying is 100% true, right? If you're based on race, people perceive you differently. But I feel like now this new generation, you can become wealthy from the internet, right? Like you're in Forex, I'm in crypto. I don't have to have any face on the products I create. It doesn't matter what race I am, because if they don't know who I am selling the products to them, I don't think it's at, valid as a point today than it used to be in previous generations.
I think we forget that not everybody's job is online, and not everybody's job you can hide behind a screen, and most people work everyday jobs in person doing, customer service where people have to look at them. So I think if we're talking about if it's easier to make money as a white person, I would say yes, because applying to jobs, most of the time, if they go into an interview and they're a person of color, they're probably less likely to get that job than a white person. And also, a white person is probably gonna get paid more than a person of color. We've seen it in the statistics, so I think it is easier to make more money as a white person.
Slay! Slay! Yeah, no, because you know what? I think that a lot of them were making valid points. You don't have to be white to make money, but at the end of the day, I know it's an option to go online and make money, but most people are working retail jobs. Most people are working at brick and mortar stores where people have to see their face every single day. And I get the question was quite vague. Is it easier to make money as a white person? So
although I'm right here, Indians make the most amount of money in America when it comes to any racial demographic group, which is great. So shout out to the Indians. But two, with that being said, I remember when I started my business, I had a very in-depth conversation with my father, and he said, Jay, if I were you, I would highly recommend staying behind the scenes and letting a white man run the business, because they get along with people a little bit better than we do, just because people don't understand Indians. But even in that, you could develop yourself to be a great CEO regardless. I mean, there's huge companies in America that they're all ran by Indian Americans or Indians.
Starbucks.
Bro, these people are so well spoken. I'm not used to having to have my words all da-da-da-da-da, making my vocabulary great. Maybe I should work on it, but when I tell you being around these people, I was like, wow, I need to get a tutor.
I have flaunted my wealth.
I was bullied as a kid, so flaunting my wealth was kind of my way of saying, hey, I made it.
I feel like I don't flaunt it, but I've worked very hard. So if I want to post my nice car, I'm gonna post my nice car because I made the money to buy that. It's not flaunting, it's,
You're proud.
Yeah, I'm proud of it, exactly.
I used to get bullied like crazy.
Yeah.
I just feel guilty, because I'm like, some people they won't have this opportunity, or maybe they will, but I just my mindset around it, I feel bad sometimes. But at the same time, it's not like we're trust fund kids. We worked for it.
Anyone have a trust fund?
I wish.
No.
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 I've just posted a video flying first class. Almost every single one of my thumbnails have NYC penthouse in it. So I do,
Thanks for the
I'm in
views.
strongly agree because I do flaunt it. But for me, the reason why I do it is, first of all, it's clickable. Everyone wants to, see how did she do that? But also people can go back and see how I started and see how I grew myself up to there. And I get a lot of comments all the time being like, wow, it's so cool seeing you grow up from living in your friend's basement to now a penthouse. And I think the difference for me, instead of feeling like I'm showing off and stuff, is because I'm showing people how I did it in hopes to inspire people that aren't living this lifestyle, that maybe live the lifestyle that I used to, that it is achievable, and that if they want to live this lifestyle, potentially they could.
Seeing myself speak, it's so it's because honestly, I don't think before I speak. I can't, when people ask questions, I can't conceptualize the answer in my head before I answer it. I answer it while I'm speaking. And that's why my videos are the way they are, is because I just speak my thoughts. But when it comes to shit like this, I'm like, oh my God, girl. Now we're about to play this intro and I'm like, stop. Because I know I was so nervous. This was at the end of the, not nervous, but I was tired. I didn't eat and I was just like.
My name is Mai. I'm a YouTuber and I'm also the founder of my clothing line, Alchemy. I'm 20 years old now, but I made my first million when I was 18. I've just been doing YouTube for a very, very, very long time, but I feel like when I was younger and I wasn't making that much money, I learned how to budget my money a lot. So honestly, what drives me to do what I do every single day is just to be able to provide for the people around me and to be able to inspire as many creatives as I possibly can. That is my main motive at this point. It's not for financial purposes anymore.
Oh, slay, okay. way. Okay, I was feeling bad because everyone else was like listing their achievements, and I know for a fact I did not do that. And I was like, damn, like, is my section gonna be like not it? Okay, I feel better about myself, guys. Not gonna lie, I'm going into this very, very, very much insecure.
I would be a different person if I didn't have this money.
I start getting really deep. I hope they didn't include it.
If I have money or not, I'm still the same person. I always preach on my social media, just be authentic and be you, and people will love you for who you are.
I think for me, when I didn't have money and I was living at my parents' house, I had a lot of mental health issues. I was depressed and I was suicidal, and I think having the money to be able to move myself out of that environment completely changed my life. Having money has boosted my confidence so much, just in a way where I have a nose job.
Slay. I didn't mean to say that because, I mean, I did mean to say that, but it's just like, girl, no one needs to know. I know I put it on the internet, but you know what? I'm being so hard on myself. I need to have self-compassion for myself. Everyone's been telling me, Mai, give yourself grace, because
And I used to look in the mirror every single day and just cry and cry and cry because I thought I was so ugly. And having money now to be able to live wherever I want, live with whoever I want, and being able to, you know, change things about my appearance. So I think that money completely changed my life, and without it, my personality wouldn't even be the same, because when I was younger and I was in that toxic household where my parents were arguing about money every single day, that made me such a negative person. I was not the optimistic, positive person that I am today. And I think that having money and getting myself out of that has completely changed my personality.
I don't know if they added this in, but there was a very important part about my parents in this, which, let's see.
There's a saying that money doesn't change you. It amplifies who you already are. If you're usually a selfish person, you're gonna think everybody sees you for the money for the most part. You're gonna think everyone needs to owe you. If you're a cocky person, you're gonna make the money define who you are.
I genuinely feel like I'm the same kid as I was when I started programming at the age of 9. Like, just a hardworking kid that wanted to make something out of himself.
Yeah, I 100% agree with what you're saying, that, you know, your fundamentals stay the same. But to say you were the same person when you were 9 till you were now, right? I mean, like, I feel like, I don't know, maybe there's an alternate version of yourself that wasn't successful. If you go look at that, have a conversation with that person, you can't say, oh, me and him are the same. I feel like to be strongly disagree is a bit too harsh. I feel like, you know, experiences have definitely shaped your being, right?
This kid is so smart. Yusuf, he's so smart. Everyone in that room is smart, but like, he's just like a different type of smart. I mean, y'all heard him. The rate that this guy speaks, it's like there's a lot of thoughts in his head, and he's just, it's just different.
I am lonely.
Bro, this question is because like literally a week prior to this, I had a mental breakdown crying. I'm not lonely. I love being alone. There's a difference between being lonely and alone, but I did have a mental breakdown a week before this. I just would love to say that. And I was crying and I recorded it all, but it's never seen the light of day.
Forget y'all.
I think, like, in a work aspect, no, I'm not lonely.
Yeah.
In a personal aspect, absolutely. Like, a lot of my friends, we don't do the same things. I love them to death. They have great morals. They're great people. But like mentally wise, it's very different. And like, I just feel different. I feel lonely.
It's hard to find like-minded 18, 19, and 20-year-olds.
And actually, I was gonna say, being in this room right now, that completely, I was like,
that's like the
you know
first
what?
time I don't feel lonely. Like, all my friends are 24, 25, 26,
Yeah,
27.
Same. Oh my God.
They're all about to
Older.
have like kids, and I'm
My
like,
friends are getting married.
yeah, you
I'm
know?
like, what the?
And like, this is like the first time I've been able to have like a educated conversation with someone my age. So wait, you guys aren't lonely? Like, you don't like to be lonely?
Yeah.
No. Like,
What the hell?
I feel like, I thought you were gonna be like, you're a
They're
crypto
just
trader.
flexing on
Like,
us. Like,
I mean, like, I enjoy my own company, you know. I love just spending time myself, going on walks, etc. But like, have big networks of other like-minded crypto people and different traders. So I'm blessed in that sense. Like, maybe some of you are saying, like, I know you were saying that you don't have people you could talk to about like your age who are like, you know, into the Forex industry. And I feel like I'm surrounded with a lot of people. Maybe they are older, but I don't mind that. I don't mind having friends who are 24, 25, 26, you know?
you don't? I do.
I
So
don't.
I feel like they don't have the same problems as me. Like, you know what I mean?
Really?
Like,
I
I'm
think
like
that's-
still trying to find like my first girlfriend that's gonna
Really?
last more than
Yeah,
a
but
year.
they were
you
17
know?
once, right? Or they were 17, 18 once. So
Yeah,
if
but
you talk to them, then they
it's
would
not.
have...
It's different when you're not in the same, because they look at you different. You
They
know, they
look
look
at
at
you
you
like
as
a
like a
parent.
son, or like that's my relationship with
Oh,
my
seriously?
older friends. Like, they're my mentors. I look up to them for business advice. So there's a little bit of a personal disconnect that I
Do
feel.
you guys think you had a childhood?
No.
Yeah.
what was that?
Yeah.
What was that?
No.
Not really.
I don't
no.
think I had a childhood.
No,
I also think
I feel like
I
I did.
forced myself to not have a childhood.
I mean, I think I had a great childhood. I mean, I have 2 older sisters that I spent time with. I played basketball, did track, did the whole 9 yards. And then I think my childhood really ended probably when I was like in 7th grade. After that, I just was focused a lot on business.
Yeah, no, I'm grateful for the childhood like I had, but I don't think it's traditional whatsoever.
Oh,
like,
agree.
It's so different. Like I put like every element of myself online for people to judge, and it was hard. It was really hard.
Would you trade your money for your childhood?
No.
I thought about it.
No.
Really?
For me, I didn't really have very much of a childhood
thought
because
about
my
it, yeah.
parents were working from morning to night. So that's why I went online to seek a community and people to talk to. I would play games on my PC and stream that to talk to people, and that's where I am today. But that's also the reason why my mom lives with me now, is because I feel like she never got to raise me and I never got a mother figure in my life. So that's kind of why I'm mending that relationship now, so that we both feel like, you know, she was my parent.
That was the big kicker. I was literally just saying, Mom, can you go to the room? I literally just said that. I don't know if you got, we'll talk about it another time, but yeah, my mom lives with me.
Anyone can make themselves a millionaire. 3, 2, 1, go.
Ooh, this one's hefty, y'all.
I think everyone can try their hardest, but you won't always get the right exposure to have $1 million put into you. You won't always get the right opportunities.
But it's still possible for them to do it, no?
It's possible, but to say anyone?
But I also think that most of us are in the US and that's where a lot of money is made, but a lot of people don't get granted a visa to come here. Think about the people that don't have internet. They don't have the library to go to get the internet. And also think about the people that from their family situation, for some reason now they're homeless. And in order to, people always say, well, then get a job. But in order to get a job, you need to be able to have a home address, and not everybody has that. It's just those little things that we don't think about to even get to that first step of getting a job.
I'm coming back the next day because they asked this question, and it was, is $1 million a lot of money? And they didn't include it. On that question, I was the only one on the agree side. Every single one of them was on the disagree side. It was crazy. And I wish they would have included that clip, but it was crazy, everybody's answers. I was literally the only one saying that $1 million was a lot of money. I wish they would have included it. I don't know why they didn't, but I think it's because everybody literally was in disagree.
But here's the thing, right? Like you were mentioning earlier, you're basically saying that, oh, people's life are in shambles because of crypto or Forex, but it's very rarely the mistake of external factors. It's because they did a mistake along the way, right? They were too reckless with their research and they just dumped all their money into it. I feel like the reason why I'm here, I wish there's maybe another one, but it's because I feel like it is possible, but depending on your circumstance, it could be exponentially harder, right? If you're like someone from like Ethiopia who has no internet access, for instance, then of course it's gonna be so much harder, but it's still possible. I mean, if you,
But
like you're
what
saying—
would you recommend they should do?
I mean,
think
I
if
don't know, I'm
if
not
you
that—
say like, it's easier, because I'm Nigerian, I recently just came from Nigeria. They get paid like $100 a month,
Yeah.
and that's insane to them. So I feel like if you're gonna say, okay, well, if you don't have internet access, it's still possible, give an example of how it's possible.
I know someone who's actually Nigerian, but then there was a public library he went to, which was like 3 hours away, and then he created cryptocurrency from that. So while I feel like to say it's impossible is too much, because I believe nothing in this universe is impossible.
No, that's
There's
true.
always a certain extent where something can be achieved. I think, you know, even the most crazy situation is 99.99% impossible, but nothing's 100% impossible, right? So I feel like to say there's a type of person that can 100% can't be a millionaire is very rare.
I think, okay, if somebody asked you, right, to put it in your terms, what is your prediction for Bitcoin, for example? You wouldn't tell them anything's possible, it could go to 100 million.
No.
You would actually back it up with actual like facts
Exactly.
and statistics
Yeah.
as to why. So when I think of just logically thinking, can anyone become a millionaire? It's like, you want to back that up. And if you say, I mean, yeah, they barely get paid and they don't live in a house and they're eating and drinking water from a river, but anything's possible. It's like, where do you think somebody's going to magically come down and be like, this is how you're gonna get from this
think the
level to
reason
that?
I think it's also a mindset. I think truly it's a mindset. Like you have to be mentally strong enough to go through the work, put like your all into something.
I think I just recently took a trip back to Vietnam, and my parents immigrated from there, and I think I just realized that you guys are talking about these online services make money, but a lot of places don't even have banks. They run on cash.
And maybe the way to become a millionaire from one of those countries is get out of the country.
But you can't just get out of the
I
country.
understand
I'm
that.
somebody
Okay,
that
I
had to wait 2
That is
years.
hard.
Yeah, I'm somebody that had to wait like 2 to 3 years to be able to get my visa, and now I'm granting my employees' visas, my parents' visas, and it's a very difficult process. People sit there and wait on their computers and pray one day that they can win the lottery for the
visa
visas,
lottery,
and
yeah.
that changes
That's
people's
hard.
lives. But a lot of people on that day are just they don't get their visas and they realize, you know, this is gonna be my life for the rest of my life, and it's very hard on them.
Facts. I think that we think that it's so easy to make money, but in reality, almost everybody in that room except for one person was from lives in America, and I mean, I'm sure everybody knows this, but that's where most money is made. And just being in the position to be in the U.S. is already such a leg up that I don't think that we realize. Also, second thoughts. They shifted. Obviously, they were editing this, right? So when they were editing this, they made it seem like I was answering last out of everyone, which is not true. Like, especially for this question, I remember I answered first, but they made it seem like I piggybacked off her answer. I don't think that they made it seem like that or it was intentional, but I did realize that throughout this video, it seemed like I do not speak up and like say my own thoughts. But I promise you I do. They just edited it to seem like I just am a follower, which that's fine. That's fine. I know who I am. That's fine.
I don't want to tell someone that they have no chance.
Yeah,
Everyone has a
There's
chance.
always a chance.
No chance, no, but close to
Miracles
no.
happen.
Infinitesimally close to no chances.
Yeah, but that's not none.
We've all experienced different parts of life, very privileged parts of life. I think it's very hard to speak on something unless you've been there. I've been to the village in Nigeria. I've seen how difficult it is. When you see it live, then you realize just how difficult it is and just how privileged we are. So it's easy for us to be like, they could just start oil or steel or whatever, but then another thing you have to think of is the government, you know, and the different patriarchy systems and just how they run. And I fully believe, same thing, whatever you put your mind to, you can do. I'm a firm believer in that. But I also I'm very open and knowledgeable to the fact that where we are at and the fact that we are teen millionaires, and that's a title because it's so rare, just goes to show the fact that it's vastly, vastly impossible for many people.
Wow. Okay, I know that there was like no reaction to that because I mean there was the reaction of that in the video, but that was interesting. That was my first time doing something like this, and it's very weird seeing myself in a different light that I'm not used to, but that's all I got to say. There was a lot said that wasn't included, which I think I'm gonna have to debrief on maybe another time, but yeah, if you guys want to see me in more Jubilee videos, subscribe because I'm gonna be in another one next week. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and I would love to see and talk to you guys in the comments because I feel like I reacted already a lot in this video that I couldn't really say too much more. But yeah, that last millionaire thing, that was crazy to me. That was crazy to me. All right, well, I'll see you guys. Bye.
East and the west, racking up on my bread, power on me. I'm feeling just like a Tesla. Too much tree, the smoke is making my chest hurt. Girl on me, I'm thinking I should arrest her.